Now, for a special segment on climate change challenges in the mountains, we've seen in the last couple of years how extreme rainfall as well as development work such as road widening have led to an increase in landslides and disasters in the Himalayan states like Himachal and Uttarakhand. Now, an effort to train the local youth in climate awareness as well as adventure tourism to provide them a job opportunity so they can stay close at hand and not abandon the states to help deal with climate-related disasters. Well, to talk more about this effort, we're joined by Jerry Moffat, an internationally acclaimed expedition kayaker and director of the Himalayan Outdoor Education Center program, and Vaibhav Kala, founder of Aquaterra Adventure. Thank you so much both for joining us. Jerry Moffat, if you can first tell us about this training, camp that you held. Around 1,000 youth were there, and you're training them so that they can also not just work in the Himalayas, but also respond when there are, some sort of climate change disasters.
Well, thank you for having us. The Himalayan Outdoor Education Centers work at the intersection of youth, skills creation, and climate. And our objective is to inspire and teach skills to young people across the Himalayan regions most impacted by climate change. And these are places, vulnerable places like Ladakh and Rishikesh, as well as communities in both Nepal and Bhutan, because many young people in these areas migrate for jobs, leaving behind their homes and families. And those who stay don't have the opportunities to participate in two of the region's most important sectors, and that's adventure tourism and environmental preservation. And so to address this, we're piloting a model program in 6 locations that uniquely partners local adventure professionals with local schools and conservation groups to offer outdoor education programs for youth. Now, these programs are both experiential and transformational, and it's a model of success that can be sustainably supported and replicated across rural communities that will both help create jobs and tackle climate change.
Right, Vaibhav Kala, if you can, also tell us about this program and about, what we've seen happen in the Himalayas in the last couple of years, these extreme weather events. We do know that everyone, you have these ghost villages in Uttarakhand as well, where, young people have all left to for the cities to find employment. So this is a real issue. At the same time, excess tourism is also something of a challenge.
Thank you, Gargi. Thank you for having us. Yes, we have been, by virtue of being in the adventure travel industry, we are often at the front line of climate change. Rapid changes are occurring every year, natural disasters, more recently the pandemic. And these often leave youth in these regions struggling to make ends meet. They leave their homes in search of jobs, and their families are left behind dealing with that aftermath. And I think working in these regions, our responsibility does extend towards these communities that we work with, and in the regions that we operate in, not only from the point of view of employment, but to preservation of their environment around us and impacting tangible changes to their lives.
That's right. Jerry Moffat, if you can, talk about this issue around tourism, because on one hand, tourism in the hill states does create more employment opportunities. You're training these young people in adventure tourism, but it's a double-edged sword, because on the other hand, it leads to a lot of the kind of development, etc., and also a lot of waste in the Himalayas, and a lot of pressure on the geology there, on the environment there. So your comments on that?
It's a great question, and I think that that's really why it's so important to partner with both the local communities and the environmental groups to deliver a sustainable product that's well thought through, that really takes into consideration both the environment and development. And there are many outdoor adventure travel companies, specifically companies like Aquaterra, who have really taken the lead in this area to develop sustainable tourism that has a plan for the long term.
Right, and Vaibhav Kala, if you can talk about, the kind of issues, challenges that we've seen especially in Uttarakhand, your camp runs in Rishikesh as well, and the increase in landslides. There's been massive controversy over the road widening project as well, and the importance, as you said, of providing employment so the youth can, stay back in the state and not leave.
Yes, Gargi. So, development of areas, sadly brings about, collateral damage in terms of, whether it's road widening. There's now a railway that is being built that has, caused lots of damage in villages with cracks in the fields, cracks on house walls. Old artesian wells that ran for centuries are now dry. And I think the program that Jerry and we are running, it allows youth to contribute constructively. It motivates them to see the potential of what could be, where the fault lines lie, and build leaders from ground up and shape the community with a mindful shift in their approach towards climate and ultimately, affect positive change on the environment. And I think that's where we can come in and make the difference.
Right, and finally, Jai Mofat, if you could share the experience. You've just held a camp in Rishikesh. You're somebody who, you're from Scotland, but you've rafted widely in India, in the Himalayas. Tell us about the camp and your experiences.
Well, first of all, it's just a joy to be working with the kids. And for me, the enthusiasm, whether the kids are from Scotland or from India or from Nepal or from the States, it's just giving young people this opportunity to express themselves, and then at the same time layering a level of education into the program so that the kids really have something tangible to take away is just a joy. And it's just wonderful to be out with the kids and see the impact of Mother Nature and being in Mother Nature and having these adventures with them has on them.
All right, well, thank you so much, Vaibhav Kala and Jai Mofat, for joining us on the channel. And this is a very, real concern about the Himalayas, the impact of climate change, and yes, a need for the youth in the state to be, have these employment opportunities. So thank you for your efforts, and thanks for joining us on the program.